The Women's Business Center. Your first step to success.
The Edge is a show to encourage you to go for it. We have these amazing women who give up their time to come over here and share their story with you, because the one thing that is for sure is that making it, reaching the success that you dream of, it's hard work and it doesn't happen overnight. And so the exciting thing is that our two Laras here are gonna share their story, encourage you to make your dreams come true. My name is Giselle Mascarenhas-Villarreal, and I am one of the sponsors with Indigo PR firm. Go ahead.
My name is Charo Mann. I'm the Executive Director for the Women Business Center, an organization that assists entrepreneurs achieve their dreams.
My name is Hammond, and I am with Atlas Electrical Air Conditioning and Refrigeration Services, and I am a sponsor of The Edge.
My name is Lara Warren. I am president or principal of the Warren Group Architects here in McAllen, Texas, and in Austin.
Hello, my name is Lara Lara, and I'm a senior project manager for the University of Texas Office of Facilities Planning and Construction.
Thank you both for being here. We're super excited. The Edge does this through the Women's Business Center, because the Women's Business Center has the workshops, the tools to give anyone out there who doesn't even know how to maybe start their business plan, or these ideas in their head, how to get it on paper. Charo is amazing at doing that, and so we love doing this for the Women's Business Center and for you, everyone out there watching us. So let's get started. We'll start with you, Laura. This Laura. What motivated you to be an architect?
From a little girl, and I guess a lot of us are lucky enough to understand what our calling is. I didn't know the word architect, but I did know that beautiful buildings and ideas came from somewhere, from somebody's head. I grew up traveling throughout Mexico and the United States as a little girl, and the things that stuck into my mind were these beautiful places and what they made me feel. And I'm not talking just about the beautiful cathedral or the museum, in the streets. I always like to observe human dynamics. And I wanted to be part of that. I wanted to be part of those places that made people feel something or have a memory, whether it's a good one or a bad one. I always felt that architecture was an avenue to have a little bit of transcendence and to leave a legacy. Even though people don't know your name or they don't know that you were the one who did that building, you left your mark there. So I love that, where you go to heal, where you go to learn, where you propose, where you go and pray. That always fascinated me. So then I grew up knowing that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be involved in that.
What was the moment that you knew, oh, it's called being an architect?
I was 7 years old, and I was at a friend's house. We were doing this homework together, and her oldest sister was studying architecture. And she had this big drafting table, and she had these beautiful plans that she was doing, and I just stood there. And of course I didn't do my share of the work that day, because I just wanted to stand next to Alejandra, this beautiful sister, and asking her questions, and where is she going to school, what does it take, is she working, I don't recall ever asking her how much you're going to make. I just knew that's what I wanted to do, and I did find controversy. I went home and started saying, I'm going to be an architect, and people laugh, and they pat your shoulder, and of course they say, well, mijita, you can study that, until you get married. That's really not for ladies. I don't know if you encounter that also, Lara. And I was so privileged to have a father like the one I did, who also always observed me, and he said, what are you pouting about? I said, well, they said that what I want to be is not for me, because I'm a woman. He says, well, you're a young girl, don't get ahead of yourself, but he says, you will become a woman. And they say that. So yes, they did say that. What are you going to do about it? He always challenged me that way. He never told me, oh, poor mijita, come here, let me talk to you, they're awful people. He always challenged me. Okay, what are you going to do about it? You want to be an architect? Yes. Is that in your heart? Yes. Then do it. And it just stuck in my head. You know, I didn't know at that time how, but I knew I had to make myself a path. Never look back.
And at that moment, you knew that that's what you were going to do, even with probably a lot of the...
A lot of laughter. It was not something that came easy, you know. And I'm not thinking that this is the only career that women are told this is not for you. Because sometimes gender is not an issue, sometimes it's socioeconomic challenges. It can be your nationality, geography. In this case was gender. When I was in junior high in Mexico, there's workshops. The way the education is formed over there is that if you're not going to go to college, you don't go to high school. From junior high, which is up to 9th grade, you graduate with a technical degree that will allow you to incorporate yourself into the workforce. I was the only girl studying technical drafting because I knew that was going to be helping me on my next step. As soon as I became of legal age to work, which in Mexico is 14 years, I started looking for places where I could work and started doing my homework. And I did work in other things, but I went and knocked on the door of an engineer that was building this wonderful hotel, and the architect was from out of town. And I said, this is who I am. I have a technical degree in drafting, and would you give me an opportunity? I promise you I will work very hard and pay attention. And I promise you, I'm sure he thought he was cute, but I'm sure more than anything he was puzzled. The first week I worked with him, I helped his wife. Administratively, I was running errands, cleaning cups, making coffee, helping with the, plugging in numbers. Until he had a deadline, and one of his classmates was sick, and I offered to help. And I said, look, if you have your pencil sketches, I can do that with ink, because at that time we had to use rapidograph and the Leroy, which is to make letters. We were not doing that by computer, so I helped them out, and the next Monday, and we worked throughout a weekend. And the next Monday, he told his wife she had lost her assistant.
That was the best day of your life.
I held on with all my will, because I knew that if I messed up, there might not be a way back. And he realized early that I wanted to become an architect, and he recommended me with Arquitecto Argomedo, who was the director of planning for the state of Chihuahua. And he had his own offices there in Ciudad Juarez, and I didn't start working for Ingeniero Eduardo Samaniego. I kept working for him on and off when he had heavy deadlines. And then I started working with Arquitecto Argomedo, and that's where I discovered urban planning, and I loved it. So I learned to keep doors open and be selective as to whom I wanted to go knock doors on. But I learned that if you just work really hard and you help people look good, and they understand that you appreciate them, they will open doors for you. So again, it wasn't easy. I always showed up ready to work. I learned to dress appropriately, to be responsible, to be respectful. But they're not going to give you a chance. So I mean, that was my beginning. That was how I learned. I loved it. The more I did it, the more I liked it.